Hello and welcome to Yesterday in Baseball. We got Thursday's show for you all. My name is Luke, and today we've got plenty of games to cover that were as exciting as always. The wild card team struggled a little bit. We're going to take a look at the standings, of course, because it's so tight, everything's down to the wire. My Cardinals got eliminated, so kind of a sad day, but not too sad because, like I said, there's a ton of amazing baseball to catch up on. We got our injury report episode, so we'll get you guys situated on who's hurt, who's healthy going into the postseason. A bit of MLB news, and then we'll wrap it up with our player of the day and look ahead to what's happening tonight. So without further ado, let's travel out to Atlanta and recap Washington at the Braves. The Nationals rained on the Braves parade. The Braves have won 10 games in a row previous to yesterday. But the Washington Nationals came in and won 4-3. For the second day in a row, all of the Braves' home runs came off of solo shots, but they didn't have enough to get the win Tuesday. James Wood has gotten back on track. He had a homer on Tuesday and then 2 homers on Wednesday, bringing his total to 30 on the year. That's a great year. I know he slowed down a little in the second half, but still an amazing year for him. Nationals got the win 4-3. Milwaukee tied their franchise record 93rd victory of the season as they beat the Padres 3-1 on Wednesday. The Padres got one on a Jackson Merrill solo homer. Bryce Terang continues to be a hitting machine for the Brewers as he went 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Danny Jansen also had a solo homer. The difference in this game, though, was in the bottom of the first inning, Xander Bogaerts crushed a ball to left center. It looked like it was going to be a 3-run homer, but Jackson Chourio robbed it, helping the Brewers get that. They won by 2. That would have been a big difference in that one. Brewers get the victory 3-1. Tampa took down the O's 6-2. The Rays evenly distributed their runs as they scored 1 run in 6 different innings. Shane Baz didn't go deep, but he did go 4 scoreless and 4 hitless innings. Tampa beat Baltimore 6-2. Both teams really look to improve heading into next year. This next matchup felt a lot closer than the box score read, as Cleveland beat the Tigers 5-1. Detroit kicked off the scoring in the third with a sac fly, but then the Guardians one-upped them on a George Valera 2-run shot. Later in the game, the Guardians padded their lead with a Kwan RBI single and a J-Ram RBI double to help them get the win. This marks the 19th consecutive outing where a Guardian starting pitcher has given up 2 runs or less, as Tanner Bibee went 6 innings, giving up just 1. Insane stuff from the rotation right now. They look unbeatable. Cleveland win 5-1 and now can control their destiny as they have a 1-game lead over Detroit. Despite some late inning efforts, the Reds drop a game to the Pirates 4-3 in 11. It was an impressive pitcher's duel as Paul Skeens went 6 scoreless and Hunter Green went 6 innings, giving up only 2. With that outing, Skeens finishes 2025 with a 1.97 ERA, a historic season for the young pitcher. It was a wild one. Once Skeens was out of the game, though, as Noelvi Marte hit an inside-the-park homer in the 8th, and then Tyler Stevenson sent it to extra innings with a massive game-tying homer in the 9th. The teams both added a run in the 10th, but Pittsburgh got one in the 11th, and the Reds couldn't get it done. They lost 4-3. They don't lose any ground in the wild card, though. The Phillies had an electric evening as they hit a franchise record 8 homers, beating the Marlins 11-1. Jesus Luzardo threw 7 innings, giving up 1, striking out 10. But like I said, it was a slugfest for the Phillies. Utility man Edmundo Sosa put up an incredible performance after not playing for 12 days. He went 3 for 4, 3 homers, 5 driven in. Insanely memorable day for him. Phillies get the win 11-1 and make history. The Yankees tied the Blue Jays in the AL East as they got the win 8-1 over the White Sox. Max Fried went 7 innings, giving up just 1. Aaron Judge crushed 2 homers, giving him number 50 and 51 in the year. That's the 4th time Judge has eclipsed that mark in his career of 50. He has continued his dominant season and looks to carry it into the postseason and have some success there. Yankees take down the White Sox 8-1. Speaking of Sox, the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 7-1. Garrett Crochet threw another gem, going 8 scoreless and notching his 250th strikeout of the season in the process. The Red Sox scored early and often, putting up 3 in the first, 1 in the 5th, and 3 in the 8th. The Blue Jays, like I said, are now tied with the Yankees atop the AL East, and the Red Sox could clinch as soon as today. Sox beat the Blue Jays 7-1. The Cubbies blew out the Mets 10-3. Matthew Boyd had a solid outing as he just let the offense get to work. Matt Shaw and Michael Busch each hit a homer, and Pete Crow Armstrong scored from second base on a wild pitch, something I'd never seen before. The Mets need to get back on track today, but for last night they dropped this one to the Cubs 10-3. The Tigers snapped their losing streak as they beat the Twins 4-2. Buxton kicked off the game with a leadoff homer, his 32nd. Then Jacob deGrom shut them down, going 5, giving up just the 1, bringing his ERA to sub-3 in 30 starts this season. A really nice season for him after his recent injury issues. The Rangers put up 3 in the 7th to get the win, 1 from an RBI single and 2 more from 2 wild pitches. Rangers get the win 4-2. The Angels beat the Royals 3-2. Kikuchi had a strong outing, going 5, giving up just 1-on-1 hit. Taylor Ward had a nice homer. And the Royals tried to make a comeback in the later innings, but it was too little too late. Angels won 3-2. Arizona had a golden opportunity to jump into the last wildcard spot on Wednesday, but choked in extra innings as they lost 5-4 to the Dodgers. Both teams got 1 in the first. The Dodgers added on more, but 3 runs in the 8th inning from Arizona leveled things. Out of the bullpen, the Dodgers used Sasaki and Kershaw. It went pretty well for both. In 2 innings of extra inning baseball, only 1 run was scored, and that was courtesy of Tommy Edman. Hit an RBI single in the top of the 11th to put the Dodgers on top 5-4. The D-backs stranded 5 runners in extra innings alone as they couldn't scratch a run across. With the Mets lost, they don't lose ground, but they're running out of time as they lose 5-4. Once again, out in Seattle, it was absolute cinema. Cal Raleigh hit homer number 60, and Mariners clinched the AL West by beating the Rockies 9-2. Like they've been all month, they were on a mission, scoring 5 runs in the first 2 innings. Luis Castillo was great, going 7.1, striking out 10 and only giving up 1 run. Cal Raleigh went 3 for 5. Those 2 big homers helped him reach 60, an incredible feat for a catcher, a switch hitter, anyone for that matter. Just amazing. With that 9-2 victory, Seattle won the AL West for the first time in 24 years as the Mariners set their sights on trying to get a bye. The Cardinals got knocked out of postseason contention due to some sloppy play as they lost 4-3 to the Giants. Rafael Devers mashed a splash hit into the Cove, his first as a Giant. Cardinals basically let up 2 runs on 2 guys that shouldn't have reached base due to errors. The Cardinals evened the game in the top of the 8th, but Andrew Kisner on the Giants had a go-ahead triple to put the Giants up and propelled them to victory 4-3. Houston at the A's was an interesting one as Sacramento won 6-0. Hunter Brown wasn't sharp, he gave up 4. Shade Langoliers went 4 for 4 with a homer and a double though. And Luis Severino in his last outing of the year got his first scoreless outing at home all season, which is wild. With that, the Astros dropped their 5th straight and their postseason chances worsened. A's won 6-0. That's all from the recaps. Now let's hop into our injury report. One of the biggest bummers this time of the year is when you see guys go down with an injury. They're typically out for the rest of the season. There's just no time left unless they're going to the postseason. Kind of makes you realize that the journey, the regular season is wrapping up. But without further ado, we're going to hop into guys who have just recently gone on the IL. So Ramon Laureano on the Padres, he's got a fractured finger. He's going to miss the wild card series. Hopefully they can get him back for the divisional series if they advance and he's ready to go. Then David Fry in Cleveland, he got hit in the face with a Scooble fastball. He's got facial and nasal fractures. He's out for the season. I saw Scooble went and visited him in the hospital after that. So good to see people looking out for one another, but unfortunate for Fry. And then Will Smith, we're just going to do a quick update on him on the Dodgers. He's got a hairline fracture. It's up in the air. He may not play in the wild card round. That's what they're saying. It looks unlikely. So like I said, unfortunate time of the year to get hurt because you might miss the rest of the season or even the playoffs, but hopefully some of these guys get back. Now on to the brighter side of this, we have the guys returning from the injury. So Daniel Palencia on the Cubs, he had a shoulder issue. He's just activated yesterday off the IL. He has to make an appearance, I believe, but he's going to be good for them on their back end of the bullpen. Denzel Clark of the Athletics, he had a lower body injury. He's rehabbing and should return for the final series. And then Trey Turner, who's been out with a hamstring, he's been doing live BP and running. I'm guessing they're just timing it up so that he's ready to go for the playoffs. And they'll likely get a bye, so I'm sure he'll have no problem being able to be ready for the NLDS. That's it from the injury news, but now we're going to hop into just some general baseball news. It was announced Tuesday that the MLB is going to be introducing the ABS challenge system in 2026, and for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's basically the ability for the pitcher, catcher, or batter to challenge a ball or a strike call made by the umpire. I believe when they tested it, you only had 3 a game. If you get it correct, you keep it. If not, you lose 1. So I'm excited to see this. We have too many big moments and stuff that come down to these subjective calls, and to have a way to challenge it or check that. And as well as, it's still a skill for the batter, pitcher, catcher to make that call and understand where that ball is. So I hope it's a success, and I'm excited to see it implemented next year. Now just a super quick standings check for you guys. In the AL, Seattle's clinched now. Yankees and Blue Jays have all clinched. The Guardians lead the Central. They're a game up on the Tigers, who are in the last wild card spot. The Red Sox are in the second wild card spot. They could clinch today. Then Houston is a game out of it. And in the NL, the Mets are still in that last wild card spot, and the D-backs and Reds are just 1 game out of it. Now let's look at our player of the day. There were some great performances on Wednesday, a lot of historic hits, a lot of homers, some great outings. But, this is the guy that I was most surprised to see do this particular thing, and that's Edmundo Sosa hitting 3 homers, knocking in 5, and scoring 3 runs. It was just an incredible victory, very dominant for him out there. For a guy who's not historically a power hitter, I watched him when he was with the Cardinals a lot, and now he's kind of a great utility vibes guy for the Phillies. But yeah, he's not a power guy typically. So to go out and hit 3 homers, I mean, that's pretty special. That's pretty exciting. And last time we had a guy hit 3 homers, Cal Raleigh kind of overshadowed him with a big 2-homer game. That kind of almost happened today, but I mean, you got to give the credit where credit's due. Amazing day from Sosa. Now let's take a look at some of the exciting matchups tonight. It's been the same several games all week. We have Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. It's just very important for Cincinnati. That's at 12:40 p.m. Eastern time. Then we have the Dodgers at D-backs at 3:40 Eastern, 12:40 Pacific. Again, D-backs, they need a win. And the Mets up against the Cubs at 7:40 Eastern time, 4:40 Pacific, I'm sorry. McLean versus Imanaga on the mound there. So a lot of good matchups. Like I said, Cincinnati, Arizona, and Mets, they all need to win. So it's just exciting and fun to see it all coming down to the wire. That's going to be it this morning from Thursday's edition of Yesterday in Baseball. I appreciate you guys all for listening. Feel free to check us out on YouTube if you're listening on Spotify, and if you're on YouTube, please check us out on Spotify. But we've got a lot of fun baseball action tonight. Last night was super fun again. I was hoping Arizona would make the comeback, but that's going to have to wait until today. So enjoy the last few days here of seeing 30 teams play every day. Don't take it for granted, but we got exciting postseason baseball right around the corner just next week. So thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, and hope to see you then.